I think there's going to be a couple ways we could take this. The Niners need to go edge at some point in the first 2 rounds. I think it's a given that they will. They haven't made any notion to get an edge player that can fill in. I mean, currently, let's look at the Niners roster, but currently we don't have an edge rusher that could fill in and start day one. Like, not even close. Right now, our only true edge rusher is Nick Bosa. So I think it's a given that we go one of our first 2 picks in the 49ers in this draft. But I've been going back and forth. Do the Niners go offensive line in the first round? Because, so let's look at the report from Iann Rapoport today, 22 hours ago, and we already knew that Caleb Lomu spent last night with the 49ers 27th, who picked 27th on the top 30 visit as SF continues to do work on top offensive linemen. Here's the part that I think is interesting. Oh my gosh, the blur. I need to fix that setting. But anyway, he says, Iann Rapoport says, I imagine Lomu is a possible trade up target for the Niners. So, and I think that's right. I mean, Lomu to me is one of the more, not traits wise, I think he has long enough arms. His arms aren't as short as Will Campbell. I don't have the exact numbers in front of me. I believe he's like 30th percentile in arms, but they're not like Will Campbell, 1 percentile length of arms. His arms, I think, are long enough. And as far as technique goes, Caleb Lomu's like a top 3 tackle in this draft for me. So I could definitely see him going to a team like the Eagles or whoever likes him before the Niners. So we're going to have to, I mean, that is a potential trade up option. So that's one thing. Maybe we sit at 27, we get a tackle, or we trade up to get a tackle. The thing with trading up, and I would rather the Niners trade down, and here's why. The 49ers roster, if we're looking at it, let me look up 49ers depth chart. I have it pulled up here. So, I mean, I could share the screen with you guys, but I was looking at this earlier. The Niners really need we need a tackle, we need a guard, obviously, but if you're looking at the sheer numbers of the defense, right? We only have on our defensive line currently that will go into training camp currently. We only have 9 guys. The Niners usually like to go into training camp with like 12 or 13. So solely off of that fact, and on top of the fact that if you're looking at like defensive tackle, we only have who can stop the run. We really only have Alfred Collins and CJ West, who are good run stoppers. So I think we have a need at defensive tackle. We obviously have a need at defensive end because Mykel Williams is not a third down defensive end. So we have a need at defensive end who can actually get after the quarterback, pass rush. And then if you're looking at the cornerbacks, I mean, the Jack Jones signing was actually very interesting. I know there were some rumblings. Is this the end of Renardo Green? I don't think so. I think it's just bringing in more competition, potentially a depth piece. But I think the Niners secondary is really mediocre. Like right now, it looks like we have our secondary kind of figured out, but I don't trust Darrell Luter Jr. Like, I wouldn't mind us getting a cornerback / safety. I'm going to go into some guys that I think can play both, but the Niners are missing a kind of box safety who can cover as well. The coverage safety, they don't have that. Jair Brown does not have the speed to do that. They don't have their Jimmy Ward. Like we used to have Jimmy Ward who could get on, he could play free safety. He could get on Travis Kelce. He could lock down a tight end. Like we don't have a coverage safety. So I think the Niners could go secondary. That's another need. So defensive tackle, secondary, linebacker, potentially. Tight end, George Kittle, going to be out most likely start of the season. Definitely could use a tight end. We already said guard and tackle. Wide receiver's been rumored to the Niners. We're hosting a ton of top 30 visits. So the Niners, I think, to fill all their needs in this draft, need to have, I mean, currently we have 7. We have 5 fourths, we have a second and a first. I think we need to go 9 picks. So the concept of the 49ers trading up for a tackle doesn't seem like the smartest move to me. Now, if there's a guy that they really like Caleb Lomu, then I say go for it.